Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss handling missing values, one of the key ideas in data preprocessing. Missing data is a common phenomenon in any real-world data set, right? It occurs when no value is available for an observation, right? It's always tempting to simply ignore missing values, but this can lead to inaccurate results or biased results in your analysis. In statistical modeling also, some packages do not allow you to proceed with analysis unless those missing values are either removed from the data or handled very specifically. So what is it that we do to tackle this problem, right? I mean, as I said, there are two main methods: imputing those values or deleting them, right? But then the way this imputation goes, I'm going to say there are three methods: deletion, imputation, and estimation. So let's first talk about deletion. A straightforward method as it sounds, you remove the entire observation or a variable which has missing values, right? So let's take an example. You run a gym and you are committed to giving a well-rounded exercise regime to all the individuals who are enrolled with you. Then you are actually analyzing this data of individuals and you came across some guys who have come to the gym but have not recorded their exercise regime in your database, right? You can safely keep these individuals out until you ask them to track their effort into your system next time when they come back, right? So this is simply omitting those missing data observations from your analysis, right? So this is simple problem solved. Well, not always. Deletion can lead to loss of valuable information, right? If only few variables have missing values, then you could work with them. So let's suppose that these guys did not record an exercise on elliptical cross because that machine went for maintenance that day, right? That doesn't mean you want to keep them out from your analysis. So you want to put their effort on an elliptical cross based on patterns people follow in the gym with their effort across different equipments, right? So it's possible that your data could have large number of missing values, let's say more than 20 or 30%. It may be difficult to impute so many values, right? So even this imputation is not always going to be a simple method, right? Yet imputation is very logical method in the example I gave you, right? Some variables data is missing, it's available for some other variables. You can infer patterns across these and impute them, right? So let's take the example of imputation ways. So instead of throwing the data away, we replace them with reasonable substitute value, right? So let's take an example. You are trying to build a model for predicting weekly sales. Now, for a couple of weeks, you have not recorded the sale because the system lost transaction data for 2 weeks. Now, for statistical modeling purposes, you need to impute those missing values and you decide to impute that with average weekly sales, right? So when you consider this average, you take this average for 2 months before and after those missing weeks, right? So it's like replacing the missing puzzle piece with similar looking one from another puzzle, right? It's not perfect, but it's better because it allows you to run the forecasting code. That forecasting code won't run if you had missing values given in the input, right? So this is one way where we imputed using some sort of an average, right? What are the other ways to sort of impute? Based on the nature of variable, it could be mean, median, or mode imputation, or you could also use k nearest neighbors regression model based imputation, right? So that's the third method I'm going to talk about, which is model based estimation for imputing missing values. So what is it that we do here? We use statistical model to predict missing value based on other available information. So suppose you are trying to predict the price of a flat or price of a house, and that house that is of interest to you has got square footage value missing. What is it that you do, right? Um, you could say that I'm going to infer this missing value based on data that's available, like number of bedrooms, location, name of the apartment complex, and that will tell me what is the likely value of square footage, right? I can predict price if only I have likely square footage available, right? So this is like doing an estimation, estimating square footage based on the apartment complex name or the number of bedrooms, the locality, these different variables or information that you have, you could impute missing value here, right? So this is an intensive method which requires careful model specification. All in all, we've covered three ways of working with missing value data: deletion, imputation, and estimation. Now let's take a look at an example where we see what is it that we could do realistically, right? We have a data set of car sales containing information about cars make, model, year, price, right? Some of the price values are missing for some of the cars. Let's say we can handle this using the methods that we've just discussed, right? So let's go. First, let's try deletion. So if you try removing those rows of cars where price is missing, we'll be left with a smaller data set. This might work for if I had only a few cars where values were missing, right? But I want to make use of all the information that's available. So let's say I'm not going to delete too many records. It's better to work with some kind of an imputation. So let's take a look at second way. So we can calculate average price for all available observations and then use that value to fill in the missing prices, right? So this approach will help retain overall structure of the data set, but it may not capture the nuances, right? So you are trying to impute the missing value of a small car with the average taken over all the different size cars that are there in your data set, right? So it's like missing a puzzle piece with a similar looking one. It's not quite perfect, but it's getting the job done, right? Let's take a look at the third way, right? Where you use a regression model to predict the missing prices. So that is based on car's type, make, model, the year. The method can provide a bit better predictions than the simple average or simple mean value of price variable that we took before. It requires deeper understanding of the data set and suitable statistical models, right? So it's much like an artist trying to paint the missing puzzle. It's more accurate, but it requires effort and expertise, right? So in summary, handling missing data is a crucial step in data preprocessing and cleaning, right? Deletion, imputation, estimation are three common ways to deal with missing values, each with its own pros and cons. Dealing with missing data, you always have to remember what specific context of the data set or the variable you have and the analysis goals that you have, right? And then choose appropriate method. So that's our discussion about handling missing data. Stay tuned for more interesting and informative topics in business analytics course. Remember, when it comes to data, every piece counts. And so is this piece about missing data. Thanks for joining and happy analyzing.